Hello, my friends. This is Tosif. I'm back with a new live stream. And I apologize because I had set up this live stream for 10:30 p.m. Central Time, and I'm 11 minutes late. The reason being, I actually have been uh, a little unwell this evening. Okay, you can probably tell I've got some allergies, runny nose. And so that's why I was just slow. I was just slow in starting. I had thought for a second that maybe I'll just not do a live stream today. Maybe I'll just rest and relax and just sleep early. Then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna miss my friends, and even if I'm a little sick, I'll still do a live stream, okay? Even if it's not that long, I'll still do a live stream. I don't want to miss a single day, okay? I was fine throughout the day. Morning I was fine. Afternoon, most of the afternoon I was fine. Kind of late afternoon-ish, started feeling not so great. Evening, wasn't feeling great. Now you can probably tell from my face. I've got runny nose and all that. Anyway, I'm drinking tea. Okay. So this is black tea. English breakfast. I made it with cinnamon and cardamom, and then honey, okay? So hopefully this will make me feel better. But anyway, I didn't want to miss doing a live stream, okay? I didn't want to miss doing a live stream. I love you all so much, my friends. You really mean a lot to me. And I hope you understand that, okay? I know I say it a lot, that, I say it quite frequently, that you all give me a lot of encouragement and support. And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'm very, very grateful for all the support that I get from you. And that's why, even if I'm not so well, on a single day, or maybe a 2-day stretch or whatever, or over a weekend I'm not feeling that great, I still want to do live streams, okay? So you mean a lot to me, everyone. And thank you for being here. Thanks for continuing to support this channel. I appreciate you all. Now, I'm going to go into the discussion today. I have a lot to talk about beyond the topics that I've selected for today. I have a lot more to say. I could probably speak for 4 hours, 5 hours easily. I mean, that's how I feel. I have so much to say, especially given what's been going on the last few weeks, last few months. But I'll try to focus on the topics today, and then maybe at a later time I'll go into details about a lot of other things, current affairs that I want to talk about. Anyway, let's get started. I do see our friend Frank is here. Hello, Frank. Richard is here. Hello, Richard. Kay is here. Hello, Kay. And DSAR is here. DSAR, good to see you. Thank you all for being here. And more people will be tuning in, hopefully. So, my friends, let's get started. The Department of Education is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. That's right. That's right. I'm talking about the U.S. Department of Education. I'm talking about the federal agency, which is big, bloated, but it's becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. Linda McMahon, she's the Secretary of Education. And she was in the White House briefing room this week, and she was delivering remarks, giving some updates, and she was answering questions. Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, President Trump's press secretary, introduced Secretary McMahon as a special guest, but obviously Linda McMahon is someone who needs no introduction. We all know her. Not just Linda McMahon, but her family, very, very well known, very, very prominent family. Okay? Vince McMahon, everyone knows Vince McMahon. The McMahon family. And Linda McMahon, obviously, she's just a wonderful cabinet member, a true Trump ally. My friends, big changes are happening in the education department. And that's why Linda McMahon was in the briefing room to share those updates. Big changes are happening. And Linda McMahon, Secretary McMahon, highlighted that the recent government shutdown showed that education was unaffected. Okay? So the shutdown, which we call the radical left Democrat government shutdown, we call it the Schumer shutdown, we call it the Schumer and Jeffries, Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries shutdown, we call it the AOC shutdown, radical left shutdown. The shutdown, the government shutdown affected many things, adversely affected many things, many aspects of our lives. You know, flights were delayed. There was uncertainty regarding SNAP benefits. We talked about all that. Small Business Administration loans processing was affected. TSA agents didn't get paid and still worked. And lots more. Air traffic controllers didn't get paid. They still worked, and lots more. But education was not affected. So that raises the question, why do we need such a big agency to run America's education? And is it really running America's education? What is the purpose of the Department of Education? Can anyone tell me? Do we know exactly how the Department of Education benefits us, or does it benefit us at all? This massive bureaucracy called the Department of Education. It's supposed to be so nice, right? Oh, the Department of Education. What a great thing. The Department of Education is there to advance education, is there to promote education in science, technology, engineering, math. The Department of Education is there to enlighten us, make the society a better place. But really, has the Department of Education done anything to improve America's education? Let me ask you that. Let me ask you, does the agency even run anything? Linda McMahon stated it very clearly. The Department of Education is just a pass-through entity. It doesn't educate any children directly. It doesn't teach. The lessons are taught in schools, not at the Department of Education. So what exactly is this agency? What is its purpose? It's just a middleman. The Department of Education is just a middleman. It's a bureaucracy that is big. And it's a bureaucracy that, honestly, we don't need. But anytime you want to reduce the size of the Department of Education, anytime you're going to go out and say, you know what, let's eliminate this department, let's abolish this department, we don't need it, and people are going to be screaming and shouting, people from the left, they're going to say, oh my God, we're going to be doomed if the Department of Education is abolished, if the Department of Education is dismantled, what's going to happen? We're all going to be illiterate. We're not going to be able to read anything. We're not going to be able to study anything. Schools are going to shut down, so on and so on. I mean, it almost feels like the world's going to come to an end if the Department of Education is dismantled. Oh my God, we're all going to be like, how are we going to read and write? Kids are not going to study anything. We're going to be illiterate. No, that's not true. The Department of Education is quite, if you ask me, and I'm going to say this as an American citizen who pays attention to what's going on in our country. I'm simply saying it as an American taxpayer. The Department of Education is bloated and we don't need it. All right? Evelyn, good to see you. Evelyn, do you... I'm going to ask you this question, Evelyn. Do you think we're going to go back to the Stone Age? If the Department of Education is dismantled? Are we gonna go back to the Stone Age? You know what? Some people actually say that many years ago there was some advanced civilization. I was actually listening to some commentary on that on the internet. People sharing different thoughts about an advanced civilization many years ago, thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. A civilization that many people think that, oh, we have not been able to learn much about. Maybe they were smarter than us. Okay, I mean, I know we got AI, but maybe they were smarter without AI, right? So anyway, coming back to the relevant topic, I love to see Evelyn here in the live chat always. Thank you, Evelyn, for being here. We got friends. We got Evelyn, we got Kay and Richard and Frank and others who are tuning in. So the Trump administration is cutting down the size of the federal bureaucracy. And if you think about it, education should be a local issue. It's actually a very personal issue. Education starts at home. It really does, all right? I mean, yes, if you want to send kids to school, absolutely. That's important. I went to school. My friends went to school. School provides an environment where you learn lessons on a wide variety of subjects. But true education is what you learn at home, the manners, the good manners, what your parents teach you. How to be kind, how to care about other people, how to respect people, how to treat people with compassion. Okay? How to do good things and stay away from bad things. I mean, choose the good, stay away from evil. I mean, that's really basic education. And then, of course, you're going to read books of geography and history, and you're going to do mathematics, and you're going to do, study biology and study physics and all that. You do that in school. But real education begins at home. But we got this massive bureaucracy called the Department of Education. No one can clearly state what function it performs other than being a middleman, other than being, as Linda McMahon said, a pass-through entity. What does it really do? Probably nothing. So if you think about it, education should be personal. It starts at home, and then it should be a local issue. And maybe the state can have some oversight, which states do, which might be necessary. Although it should not be too much government involvement. It should be minimal. Okay? Let the parents make the decision. Let the local school boards make the right decisions. And school boards must not be full of radical left Democrats. I mean, you need, sane, intelligent, reasonable individuals on school boards. All right. If you get like communists on a school board, the kids are going to learn communism, which, I mean, the only thing to learn about communism is like case studies. Yes, we have to read about communism. There's no doubt about that, because once you read about communism, you're going to know that it doesn't work. So I'm not saying that kids must not learn about communism. Kids must read the history of communism and all the countries where communism was tried and failed. Okay? And then the kids will grow up really learning the truth, which is communism doesn't work. All right. So My friends, education should be local. It should be a community issue. It should be maybe with some state oversight, as I said. But there should never be a one-size-fits-all approach. Can't have that. It doesn't work. Can't have that. One size fits all. No, communities are different. Even in Wisconsin, even in southern Wisconsin, like I'm in the city of Madison, this is very different, a very different environment. If you go 20 minutes out of the city, like from here, you go west 20 minutes, you're going to end up in a very different community, and it's not that far. I mean, how far can you go in 20 minutes? Not that far. Very different community, very different environment. Property prices are different. In fact, people's mindsets are also different. In the city of Madison, it's a very different environment versus if you go west 20 minutes or you go south 20 minutes. My friends, the federal bureaucrats do a very poor job of promoting education, and it makes you wonder, do they even try to promote education? Or are they just sitting in government offices spending time really not doing anything? They're somehow spending time, wasting taxpayer dollars perhaps. My friends, the statistics will show that the situation is pretty bad. I mean, there's really an urgent need to cut down the federal bureaucracy so that we can truly improve education, so that we can truly get the test scores up, and so that we can truly provide our students with a path that makes them competitive globally. And I know when I talk about test scores, people have different reactions. A lot of people say, oh, we don't want standardized testing anymore. You know what? Standardized testing is essential. It's necessary. Oh, standardized testing is bad. No. It is necessary. You have to set certain benchmarks. You have to kind of have some formatting, some grading system. It doesn't mean that kids are going to be stuck with a standardized system. No. Human beings have different talents. They have different skills. They can participate in extracurricular activities, learn music, engage in sports, pick up different hobbies, and, sky's the limit. But in the classroom, when you're talking about mathematics, for example, 2 plus 2 equals to 4. You cannot say otherwise. You can't say 2 plus 2 equals to something other than 4. It's not. The answers are set. We got the formulas, tried and tested. And so, when you're looking at math, for example, standardized testing is important. You got 20 kids in a class. I'm just making those numbers up. Could be more, could be less, right? Just for example. 20 kids. How are you going to understand where they are at in terms of learning mathematics if you don't have standardized testing? Okay? So my friends, what is going on right now with this Department of Education? It's being dismantled. That is what is happening. There are new interagency partnerships with the goal of cutting down the size of the federal bureaucracy. Anyone who has dealt with the Department of Education knows how bloated this agency is. Or maybe I should say how bloated this agency used to be, because now the agency is being reduced in size, so it's not going to be as bloated anymore. If you ever had federal student loans and you had to deal with the Department of Education, you know how painful it is, right? Anyone here had student loans or have student loans right now? Anyone had to deal with the burden of student loan debt? It's very, very painful, okay? It's time consuming. Managing student loan debt, it's time consuming, it's frustrating, and dealing with a government agency like the Department of Education is never easy, and some people would say it's a complete nightmare. So the interagency deals were made, these interagency partnerships, to reduce the size of the Department of Education and to transfer the responsibilities to other entities within the federal government. So the deals were made with the Department of Labor, Department of Health and Human Services, the Interior Department, etc. This is a huge undertaking. It's not easy. It might sound simple to cut down the federal bureaucracy, but it's not. It's a huge undertaking. It's a very difficult task. And anytime there's an effort to limit the size of the government or to reduce the size of the government, there's resistance. Resistance from within. There's resistance from within these agencies, from labor unions, and the work becomes very, very difficult. So what do you think that the teachers' unions are doing right now? Are they happy? No, they are not. Unions, teachers' unions, they love big bureaucracy in education, all right? The bigger the bureaucracy, the more power these unions have, and it's just complex dynamics. So, in fact, the American Federation of Teachers published a statement opposing the Trump administration's decision. They're saying that this move is neither streamlining nor reform. Well, the American Federation of Teachers can say what they want, but in reality, the Trump administration is streamlining operations. All these decades, just go back and look at the last few decades and ask the question, have we really increased test scores? The children are struggling with math, the children are struggling with reading, they're falling behind. There are many communities and school districts where the situation is so bad, it's hard to describe. And my friends, these are students, these are young people, and we need to provide them the best possible service. We need to help them out so that they can be productive citizens in society by getting a good education, by exploring all their options in the academic world, by exploring their skills, their interests. But you know, in reality, we're falling behind in STEM, that's science, technology, engineering, math. Kids are falling behind in reading. The more the government grew, the distant the parents became with regard to their children's education. And that's a huge problem. By the way, I see Ken is here. Hello, Ken. Good to see you. Good to see you, Ken. All right. Good to see you, Ken. Thanks for being here. All right. So It's almost like the government took over parenting in many cases. The government seemed to be pushing parents away and taking control of the lives of children. And see the problems that we have as a result of that. And now, we must do some correction as a society. Empower the parents. This is what needs to happen. Empower the parents and allow them to make the right decisions about their children's education and their children's lives. And it is essential to take powers away from the education department. So this is a new development. I think it's great. And Linda McMahon is the right person to get the job done. I think she's doing great. By the way, would you agree with me if I say Linda McMahon is doing a fabulous job running the agency? Tommy Brown is here. Hello, Tommy Brown. Evelyn says agreed. Tommy Brown says yep. Ken says yes. Okay, excellent. All right, my friends. Ken is giving me thumbs up. Thank you, Ken. Evelyn, I love that comment. I love that comment, Evelyn. I appreciate the encouragement. Thank you, Evelyn. By the way, as I started this live stream today, I did say that I'm a little unwell. I don't know if you can tell. Just runny nose, headache, and so I wasn't even sure that I'll be able to do this live stream, but here I am. Because I miss you all. I want to spend time with my friends here. Ross is saying Ross likes the channel. Thank you, Ross. Thank you, Ross. Appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you, Ross. Okay. Tommy Brown's been here a long time. Absolutely, Tommy Brown. Absolutely. Okay, Cooper. Look at that comment by Kay. Kay is saying, Toss, if one day when you're in the White House, will you invite us to visit? If I'm ever in the White House, am I going to be in the White House as a visitor? Are you saying I'm going to be in the White House as a visitor? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Tommy Brown is saying governor of Wisconsin. Tommy Brown, so wonderful. Tommy, you know the gubernatorial race is in 2026. It's coming up. I'm not running in 2026. But I appreciate it, Tommy. Oh, Ken is saying president. Now, Ken, wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be awesome if I could run? I can't because I'm a naturalized U.S. citizen. I cannot run for president. I love you all so much. I love you all so very much. You are all so wonderful. Thank you. Okay, a viewer is asking, what do you think of Argentina? I think Argentina is a great ally. That's what I think of Argentina. Argentina has one of the best soccer teams in the world, right? And Argentina is a beautiful country. Beautiful country. And Argentina is a great ally. It's Argentina is our ally. Okay. Did I say that? Did I answer that um, directly? Anything else you want to know? Argentina is a wonderful ally of the United States of America. There's no doubt about that. Okay. And the people of Argentina are wonderful people. All right. We are a little slow today. I mean, slow in every way. I'm kind of slow in my tone, in the way I'm speaking. I'm kind of slow, a little tired, and then the numbers are a little slow. Not a whole lot of people today, but that's okay. We got our friends here. That's what matters. A viewer's asking, "Are you Indian?" I'm not Indian. No, I am not. Thanks for asking. I'm not Indian. Any other question for me? Let's see. A viewer says, "My first time here and I liked already." Thank you. Thanks so much. Like the video. Will is saying, "LOL, I can see you're Indian." Oh, you can see I'm Indian? You can see I'm not Indian. All right? If you want to know more about me, hold on a second. I'm going to give you the place where you'll find my biography, all right? Hold on. Tausifanam.net is my website. Email is tausif@tausifanam.net. Okay? You can go to my website, you'll find my biography. I'm not Indian. I got a lot of Indian friends, but I'm not Indian myself. Steve is here. Steven from Southern Illinois. Steven, good to see you. A viewer is saying Trump wants you deported. Absolutely not. Okay, and I've said this probably many times. I was invited on stage to lead everyone in the Pledge of Allegiance at Donald Trump's event. So I was on the same stage where Donald Trump stood that day. So there's a sequence of events that takes place before the president gets there for his speech. There has to be, somebody sings the national anthem, lead everyone in the Pledge of Allegiance, say the prayer. So I was there I was invited by Donald Trump's team to lead everyone in the Pledge of Allegiance at an event in Waunakee, Wisconsin. And I had the front row seat. I had the front row seat at Donald Trump's event, which I was so honored. No, President Trump's not gonna deport me. Plus, I'm a U.S. citizen. Citizens cannot be deported. Okay. Chazzy is here. Chazzy, good to see you. Someone's asking, where are the pictures? So you go to my website, you'll see that picture on the very, very first page, my home page. I have a lot of pictures, okay? I have so many pictures of events that I've been to on the internet. You can easily find it. All you have to do is look up my name. Go on Google, search my name, but if you go to my website, you'll find that picture of me leading everyone in the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, it's a screenshot from a um, from a TV program. And then I also have pictures that I took with my camera. Any other questions for me? Ask me meaningful questions. If you're here to make fun of me, well, you can, but that's not productive, right? Is it? Someone's asking, have you finished making some samosas? Actually, I do make good samosas. You'll find some samosa videos on my channel. I do make good samosas. I do, yeah. I'm guessing you're kind of saying that to try to make fun of me, but I do make very good samosas. I make a lot of good things. I cook a lot of different fish. I make very special chicken biryani. I do beef. I do so many things. Handmade bread, made from scratch, organic flour, really good stuff, okay? Lots of vegetables, mixed vegetables that I have. You're going to see a lot of YouTube Shorts videos on my channel if you're looking to explore some of my dishes. Someone's asking, do you cook cows too? Yeah, I eat beef. I love beef. I cook cows. I mean, the way you're phrasing your question, it's like, oh, you take this whole cow and put it on the stove, right? No, I do. I love beef. Absolutely. I can prepare beef in different ways. I make beef kebabs. Really good. Okay? You have to add, trust me, to process the meat, you're going to have to add anywhere from 10 to 20 spices, different ones. It's a lot of processing. And it's all, I do it all by hand. All, homemade. I don't get processed meat. I process the meat, I add the spices, I do everything. Then you have to take the processed meat with the spices, you have to make those patties. I do it all by hand. Then you have to fry those. It's all done by hand, okay? So yeah, you can check out those videos. And anything else? Someone's saying, I bet you yeah, it's all done by hand, because if you're trying to be if you like industrial meat processing plants, okay, if you want processed food where you're going to get frozen chicken nuggets in a bag at a grocery store in a freezer, and all you want to do is buy the bag and throw the processed chicken nuggets in oil and fry them. I mean, if you want to do that, life's very easy. You can do that. You can just buy them, and it saves you a lot of time. But you're not really getting food made from scratch at home. I like home cooked meals. Okay? So yeah. Let's see, what other questions? Do I have any hobbies? Yeah, I do have hobbies. I read a lot. I write a lot. I do gardening. Although, Gardening I cannot do throughout the year because I live in Wisconsin. Okay, like right now I can't do any gardening because it's getting really cold, and we're gonna have snow. We already had a little bit of snow a few days ago, kind of melted away, but we're gonna have snow. We're gonna have negative temperature, wind chill, and all that. So I can't be gardening, but I do gardening in the spring and in the summer. Give me a second, my friends. All right. Had to check something. Any other question for me? Yeah, I do have a cold. Yeah, that's why I'm drinking this tea. And I mentioned about this at the very start of the live stream. I said this is black tea with honey, with cardamom, with cinnamon. I forgot to add the clove. Okay, I forgot. But that's something that needs to be added as well. Clove. Someone's asking why you kept written opposite. Well, because my camera is in selfie mode, so you're seeing a mirror image. That's why it looks opposite. It's not, okay? Because when I do the live stream, I have to put the camera in selfie mode. That's why it looks opposite. It's not. Okay, like this is my right hand, but on camera it looks like my left hand. It's not. It's my right hand. This is my left hand. So it's just the opposite. Mirror image. You look at the clock behind me, it's going to confuse you because you're seeing a mirror image. That time is not accurate. And also that time is not accurate even as I look at it, because ever since we moved from daylight saving time to standard time, I did not change that time. Yeah, no, not being lazy. For whatever reason, I didn't change it. So every time I look at that clock, I have to do a mental adjustment and say, oh, okay, it's not it's not 12:24, it's 11:24. Mikey says, just get up and do it. Yeah, Mikey, you're right. You're right. How long am I going to wait? I got to do it. I have my step ladder. I can just, because that's a heavy clock. I mean, I don't have to use a ladder. I can just, do it without a ladder, but a ladder would be helpful because it's quite heavy, actually. Any other questions for me? Please ask me questions. I do have other things that I want to discuss, but I'm loving this. I want to answer your questions. Someone's asking, why don't you answer real questions? What am I answering then? Am I answering unreal questions? Unreal? Oh, you're answering unreal questions. When are you going to answer the real questions? Ask me real questions, I'll answer. All right. Someone's asking me, how far to the right are you? How far to the right I am? I am pro-life, very, very pro-life. I am pro-Second Amendment. Okay? Does that answer your question? I'm pro-life, I'm pro-Second Amendment. Ask me other questions and I'll answer. Who here is pro-life? I'm pro-life. I'm pro Second Amendment. Does that make me far right? um, Someone's asking, are you from Sri Lanka? I'm not from Sri Lanka. I'm not from India, okay? I'm not from India. I'm not from Sri Lanka. By the way, if you're here, my friends, you gotta subscribe, okay? Make sure you're subscribing. Suki is saying hello. Hello, Suki. All right. Wow, now people are really... It was slow at the beginning, but now I see a lot of people tuning in. Someone's saying, you're not from here. Okay, you're saying you're not from here. What do you mean by here? I don't know where you are. I don't know where you are. So, let's say you are in, I don't know, pick a country. Let's say you are in, I don't know, Eastern Europe, okay? And you're saying, you're not from here. No, I'm not from Eastern Europe. If you are in Latin America and you're saying, Tausif, you're not from here. No, I'm not from there. You're right. If you're from, I don't know, if you're from Canada and you're saying, Tausif, you're not from here. No, I'm not from Canada. So I don't know what here actually means. It depends on where you are. If you are from, let's say you are in North Dakota, all right? And you're saying, Tausif, you're not from here. No, I'm not from North Dakota. So what does here actually mean when you're saying you're not from here? Someone's saying, you weren't born in America, question mark. No, I was not born in America. I was not born in America. So I'm not a natural born citizen. I'm a naturalized citizen. I was not born in America. You're right about that. A viewer's asking, do you love America? Absolutely. 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 America is the greatest country in the world. The United States of America is the greatest country in the world. And I'm blessed to be an American. I'm fortunate to be an American. And we are all blessed. If you are an American, if you live in this country, you should know this. You are blessed to be here. You are blessed to be an American. Suki says, I love my America. Thank you, Suki. Absolutely. Victor is saying, make dosas. I actually do make good dosas. I do, yeah. I have not made dosa in a while, but I do make good dosa. Better than what you'll find at many restaurants, because mine's homemade, all right? Any other question for me? My guess is you're from Bangladesh. Exactly, Mikey. That's where I was born and raised. You are correct. I was born and raised in Bangladesh. Yes. That's where I was born and raised. Then I came to the United States legally as an immigrant, and I became a naturalized American citizen. Okay? I became a naturalized American citizen. Okay, I'm going to answer more questions here. Give me a second. By the way, do you know when my citizenship anniversary is? Any idea? Any idea when my citizenship anniversary is? This is going to be an interesting one. My citizenship anniversary is November 21st, so that's tomorrow. November 21st. That's when my US citizenship anniversary is. Ken says congratulations. Thank you, Ken. Tommy Brown says, even Democrats love you, Toss, if they're still here. Yeah, I see a lot of Democrats here. I mean, I'm guessing they're Democrats from their comments that they're making. So yeah, it's my citizenship ceremony half an hour from now when we enter November 21st. It's still November 20th here. Any other questions? I am seeing so many new names. It's kind of unbelievable. Lots of new names. Chris is here. Chris. Anyone else? Chris, there's a different Chris who's asking, how do you make America great? Well, how do I make America great? I think making America great, again, is a collective effort. We all have a role to play, okay? We have elected President Trump so he can make America great again, but he needs our support. It's going to be a collective effort. It always has to be. People will have to unite, put their differences aside, unite, and do things that will make our country great again. So use your skills. You know, each person has God-given skills. Each person has talents. So you could be a great scientist and, you know, maybe work hard and make some scientific discoveries. You could invent something, some new technology that may be very useful for humanity. If you're a doctor and you're practicing medicine and you're treating people, healing them, then you are making this country a better place, okay? Of course, you're contributing towards humanity in general, but if you're an American, you're practicing medicine here, you're doing good, then you're helping make this country great again. If you are working in a manufacturing facility, you work in an assembly line, and you're doing your job diligently, okay, and you are showing up on time, you are making contributions to strengthening our manufacturing sector, you know, you're helping make this country great again. If you are in the service industry, let's say you work in a restaurant and you're serving food, you know, you can, with your friendly behavior, with your smile, with your prompt service, you can really provide excellent service to the people, and help make the business, the restaurant where you're working, a better place, so that more customers can come, so that the business can make more profit and expand and grow, and maybe open another location. I mean, whatever you do, if you're a musician, okay, and you're performing, you're good at music, you're good at playing different instruments, and you're doing that, you're providing excellent entertainment, and you are, practicing an art form that is very pleasing, and people like it, people appreciate it. So whatever you do, if you do it properly, whatever you do, I can go on giving examples all day. If you are a farmer, you are helping our country becoming more secure when it comes to supply of food. We need food security. So if you're a farmer and you're working hard, you're producing crops, and you're helping our country and Americans have access to good food, you're making our country great again. So to make America great again, you have to do whatever it is that you do, you have to do it better. You have to be honest with yourself. And of course, whatever you do, you're going to do to make a profit or to earn an income so you can put food on the table so that you can provide for your family. But by doing so, you're also helping the country. So I can go on giving examples all day, but I think you get my point. Whatever it is that you do, you serve in the military, do it with 100% honesty and dedication. You're a musician, practice your art with 100% dedication. If you are in manufacturing, if you are a teacher, if you are a doctor, you're a nurse, you drive taxi, you work in a restaurant, you work in retail, you're a store owner, you're a truck driver, you're transporting goods across the country, you're driving trucks. We love truck drivers because without them, we wouldn't have items on grocery store shelves without truck drivers. If you're a construction worker, you're helping build great structures, do it with full honesty, show up on time, do the work, make our country a better place. So whatever it is that you do, you're an accountant, whatever it is that you do, you're an archaeologist, and you're helping us understand the history of mankind. Whatever it is that you do it with full honesty. And that's how you make our country great. It's very simple. Just be honest and be fair. Treat others with kindness. Follow the law. If you don't like the law, if you don't like a particular law, then you can run for office. You can petition the government to change the law, to change the ordinance. There's a way to do that. But just be law-abiding and honest, and that's how we make our country great again. Does that make sense, my friends? Let me know if that makes sense. Steve is here. Hello, Steve. Tommy Brown says, yes, it does. Thank you, Tommy. Salerno is here. Hi, Salerno. Kay Cooper, thank you. There are some new subscribers here. That's great. Oh, that's wonderful. Wow, lots of support. Excellent. All right. Wow, this started slow, um, the live chat today, but now it's really getting busy. This is great momentum. Wow. Where was my hat made? People are asking me. My hat was made in a country called USA, okay? My hat was made in a country called the United States of America, which is the greatest country in the world, okay? So that's where my hat's been made. Wow. The more comments coming in, the better. You know, the the folks who are here to do trolling, the folks who are sort of like, they don't like my channel, they're still watching, which is pretty amazing, right? I mean, if I don't like something, I just leave. But the folks who don't like my viewpoints, they are super busy. They are the most active participants in the live chat. They're constantly commenting and liking, not liking, but I mean, I guess you like it if you're hanging out here. Jewel's here. Hello, Jewel. New subscribers, huh? All right, I think here's what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I should do it. Maybe I should, right? Maybe I should. We're gonna have a lot of fun now. We're gonna have more fun than ever before because I'm changing I'm making the I'm making the live chat a place that's now going to be more productive. Right? I love it so very much. So very much. Okay, so my friends, happy to answer your questions. Make sure you're asking me more and more questions so I can answer those questions. But in order to ask those questions, you're going to have to subscribe and stay subscribed. So that's great. Okay, Bob's here. Hi, Bob. Okay, my friends, as I was discussing, I completed talking about the Department of Education, but I have more things to discuss. So talking about the federal government, we're certainly very happy that the government is back open and performing essential functions. Like air traffic control. Like air traffic control. The federal government is back open, and there are many air traffic controllers who continued to work during the shutdown. Not getting paid, they missed their paychecks, but they continued to show up to work on time, and they continued to work. Many air traffic controllers, and to them we're grateful. We say thank you to those air traffic controllers who did not stay at home. They continued to show up to work on time. They continued working, managing air traffic, making the airspace safe, keeping the airspace safe. They were not getting their paychecks. They had a lot of worry. Naturally, they had anxiety if you're not getting paid, but they were showing up to work every day per their schedule, and they were not absent. To those air traffic controllers, we say thank you. And the Trump administration is giving $10,000 bonuses to the air traffic controllers who diligently continued to show up for work during the shutdown, and they performed their duties. I think this is a good decision. I think this would set a great example and reward one's commitment to public service. And this is public service. If you are an air traffic controller, you're serving the public. You're serving in a capacity to make the airspace safe, to keep the airspace safe. So you're serving the public. The radical left Democrat government shutdown. It was long, it was painful, and it probably made a lot of people worry and ask themselves if they should really go into this profession of being air traffic controller. And when people see, let's say there's a young man or a young woman out there who thinks that, who probably wants to become an air traffic controller, and then they see this long shutdown and air traffic controllers not getting paid and air traffic controllers having to work without getting a paycheck, and it might make them think, you know what, I don't want to go into this profession. What if there's another shutdown down the road? It's a lot of uncertainty. I'm going to pick a different profession. That's what a lot of people probably thought. And when people start thinking like that, we're not able to recruit enough air traffic controllers, and that's a problem for our country going into the future. We want more people to become air traffic controllers. We need more air traffic controllers because there's a shortage. We don't want people to be scared. We don't want people to not become air traffic controllers. But the shutdown was very harmful because the air traffic controllers did not get paid during the shutdown, but they continued to work. And so the damage was done by the Democrats. And so what the Trump administration is now doing is repairing the damage to make sure that people are encouraged to become air traffic controllers. So I think this decision to give $10,000 bonuses to those air traffic controllers who showed up to work on time and they worked diligently, they deserve it. I think this would be very beneficial. It's a form of respect. It's basically the Trump administration telling the air traffic controllers, you did not skip work. You showed up on time. You did what you're supposed to do. And while you were not getting paychecks, you were still working. So we appreciate that. We as a country were grateful for your service. So here's $10,000 bonus. I think that's great. Don't you think so? They are the real heroes, Stephen. You are right, Stephen. They are the heroes. They are the heroes. It's a great decision by the Trump administration, I think. And the TSA agents, they have also received bonus for the work that they have done because they have also worked without paycheck. So we appreciate them also, the TSA agent. Laura Floyd is here. Laura, so good to see you. Our friend Laura. Everyone, please say hello to our friend Laura Floyd from Texas. From Texas. We got two great friends from Texas. We got Kay Cooper and we got Laura Floyd. Laura, good to see you, Laura. Always nice to see Laura's name pop up. So we got friends from Texas, we got friends from Florida, Nevada, we got friends from other parts of the country. Laura Floyd is asking, what is the discussion today? So Laura, we were talking about the dismantling of the U.S. Department of Education, because that agency needs to be dismantled, I think. So we were talking about that. We were talking about the great steps that the Trump administration is taking. We were talking about Linda McMahon, the Secretary of Education, and the great work that she is doing. So we talked about that. And then we also talked about air traffic controllers getting $10,000 bonus for showing up to work on time during the shutdown and not missing work at all. My friends, make sure that you're subscribing to this channel. We're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers. Hopefully we get there soon. Okay, let's do Q&A. Okay, I'm gonna answer to Bruce. Bruce, I'm a U.S. citizen, Bruce. I don't know what you're trying to say, Bruce. Bruce, I'm reading your comments. You seem to be quite anxious. I don't know why that is the case. You're writing long comments, not so friendly ones. Bruce, you gotta calm down a little bit. Just calm down and separate fact from fiction. And the fact is, I'm a U.S. citizen, all right? And you can visit my website. You're going to find a lot of evidence of that, all right? So you can actually learn more about me, and hopefully that'll change your mind, and you're not going to write comments like this. So Bruce, I don't know what you feel about this channel. Your comments seem a little harsh, but you know what, Bruce? We're all created by the same God. I'm going to pray for you, Bruce, okay? I want you to know this, Bruce. I'm going to pray for you. I want you to be happy, okay? And hopefully, next time you'll be a little bit more kind. I hope so, really, Bruce. And Bruce, the other thing is I appreciate you being a subscriber, okay? Thanks for giving us your valuable time by participating in the live chat. And I'm praying for you. I want you to be happy. May God give you all the joy and happiness in the world. And hopefully, along with that, God will bestow upon you kindness so that you can treat other people with a lot of kindness. So thank you, Bruce. That's all I have to say. Appreciate you being here. Oh, Frank's leaving. Frank says good night, all my friends. Frank, have a good night. Always great to see you here. Yeah, Bruce says Bruce is unsubscribing. Bruce probably wants to unsubscribe, but you know what? Uh, we have so much of love for the people in general. Here, we love people. We love humanity. And so I think Bruce is feeling, the impact of that love that we have for everyone. And so Bruce is kind of hesitant to leave. I think that's what's going on. Okay? When somebody comes to this live chat and they see so much of love, they see, all our friends here, Frank, Richard Miller, we got Edwin, we got AC Cruz, we got Laura Floyd, we got Kay Cooper, Evelyn, and so many others. I'm probably Ken, and I apologize if I'm missing someone's name. We got so many friends, right? I mean, it's a long list, but you know who you are. We got Michael Brown, we got Freshly, we got Swaggy, and when people come in, when new people see that we are a community full of love, we love people, we want to help people, we want to spread the truth, okay, we want to solve problems, make this world a better place. And so even if they disagree with us on certain things, people see that love, they feel the power of that love that we have in this community, and it's hard for them to leave. Tommy Brown, Tommy, exactly, Tommy, and Stephen, and so many others, right? And we got our friend Sherry. I don't know if Sherry is here. We got Claudia Greenwood. We got so many others, like I said. And we also had our friend Turbo. Remember our friend Turbo? We miss our friend Turbo. Remember our friend Turbo? We're never gonna forget Turbo. We will never forget our friend Turbo. Okay? And I know you remember Turbo. So we have so much of love for people in general. And so even if somebody comes in here, does not like Trump, does not like MAGA, does not like America First, and they write some harsh comments, but when they see so much of love in a community, and we didn't know each other from before, we didn't know each other, we all came together through this channel. We're from different parts of the country, different parts of the world. And so when other people see so much of love uniting people, it's hard for them to leave. They can say, oh, I'm unsubscribing, I'm heading out, but they can't, right, Laura? Laura, would you agree? And we got Teresa Ross too. I'm trying to remember the names of all our friends. Okay, and Laura, you've been here since, I would say, the beginning, right? Laura has been a friend of this community for a long time. I mean, Laura was like, when this channel was very, very small. I mean, it's still not a huge channel, but we got more than 16,000 subscribers. But when we had very few subscribers, Laura was here. Okay, one of the first people. Tommy Brown, thank you, Tommy Brown. Chris, yes, Chris, you've been here a while. Yes, maybe a year, maybe more, right, Chris? Thank you. And I haven't seen Longdon Family. Where's Longdon Family? That's Kara. I haven't seen that name pop up in a while. Brian has been here a week and a half. Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Brian. Victoria, good to see you. Victoria says, I've been here 6 months. Victoria, so wonderful to see you. And where's our friend Marjorie? We got so many other friends. Brian, where's Brian? There's a different Brian, right? Yes, there's a Brian here, but there's also another Brian. Um, Chris is saying, been a lot of trolling lately. Yeah, you know what, Chris? This is what happens. When people realize that this channel is gaining momentum, that more and more people are listening to the facts that we are presenting here, okay, then the opposing voices also become very, very loud, okay? Because, you know, there are two different kinds of forces out there. On one hand, you got the force of good and love and kindness and compassion. And then on the other hand, you have the negative forces. So whenever we do great, whenever we get more views, whenever we see tremendous growth in subscriptions, when new people are joining the community and helping spread our word and liking the video, sharing the video, then the negative forces also become very, very active to try to slow us down. But I'm not going to be slowed down, okay? Because you know what? God is giving me energy. As long as God wants me to continue doing this, I will do this. It all depends on the will of God. If God gives me the strength to move on, I will move on. I will continue doing. If God gives me the strength to move forward, I will keep doing this. We will move on with the work that we're doing. Salerno has been here a few weeks. Thank you, Salerno. Steve. Yeah, so you know, we're not going to be slowed down. Okay, I mean, every now and then we may have a slow day or two. Sometimes we get, you know, 5,000 views. Sometimes we get 50,000 views. Sometimes we get 100,000 views, and then maybe 2,000 views. Nothing's going to stop me as long as God is showing me which way to go. All right? I strongly believe that. I strongly believe that we're all created by the same Creator. And if you are a person of faith, we're going to move forward. You know that. We have to be strong. Thank you. All right. Wow, 81 likes already. That's great. 81 likes. Make sure that you're subscribing, okay? That's important. Okay, I see a viewer named Stream. I can't read the whole word. Can we call you Stream? Should we call you by some other name? Would you give us a name? Steven saying, I pray for you, Tassif. Thank you, Steven. Thanks so much. Insomni. Okay, I should call you Insomni. All right, thank you so. Or Lee. All right, I'll call you Lee. That's easy. Lee. Chris. Oh, Chris is heading out. All right, thank you, Chris. Have a good night, Chris. Okay, so yeah, ask me questions. Happy to answer as much as I can. I'm wondering if I should open up the live chat for everyone. Should we do a test run? Do you think we're gonna get a lot of trolls? Let's do that. Let's see what happens. Evelyn's talking about Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett. What can I say about Jasmine Crockett? Unbelievable. Jasmine Crockett. You gotta wonder how she got elected to office. I mean, you listen to some of the things she says, and it just makes you wonder, how did she get elected to office? Someone's asking how many illegals did, well, you're saying Kamala, but you mean the Biden administration. How many illegals the Biden administration as a whole allowed into the country? Millions, okay? Are we ever going to know the true number? It's more than 10 million, easily. Easily more than 10 million, okay? Maybe a lot more than that. Because it's not just the ones who get apprehended, but also um, the gotaways. Yeah, I mean it's well over 10 million, easily 10 million, maybe a lot more than that. Stephen, I do put up lights in the balcony. Yes, so I try to put it up before Thanksgiving, and then there's Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, and I keep the lights up, and maybe remove them sometime in February. By the way, you can see behind me there are lights. You see, there are lights, colorful lights right behind me, always throughout the year. Bob is asking thoughts on Columbus Day. I love Columbus Day. I love Columbus Day. All right? Christopher Columbus. I love Columbus Day. And I wish people happy Columbus Day. That's what I do. All right? Okay, someone's asking when will your hat says "Make America Great Again." When will that happen? Well, it's a continuous process, because we make our country great, we keep our country great, we make our country greater, we make our country greater than ever before. So, the goal is to always improve, 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 improve. Just keep getting better and better and better into the future. Okay, so yeah, that's what we do. I support Trump, absolutely. What does my hat say? Absolutely, I support Trump. I'm a Republican. I'm a freedom-loving American. I'm a Republican. I support Trump. I support Republicans. Okay, let's see. I think I saw a question. that I was going to answer. But anyway, I gave an answer on Columbus Day. Does that make sense? I support Columbus Day. Absolutely. I wish people happy Columbus Day. By the way, anyone of Italian origin, anyone who's Italian, maybe fully Italian, partly Italian, I got Italian friends, Italian American friends. They love Columbus Day. I love Columbus Day. If you go to southeast Wisconsin, if you are in Wisconsin, you look at the map of Wisconsin, the two southeasternmost counties are Kenosha and Racine. Okay? If you go to Kenosha and Racine, you're going to find a lot of Italians. Okay? People you talk to, you're going to see their last names are all Italian names. Lots of Italians in that area. Even in Milwaukee, there are Italian, many Italians. But really, Racine and Kenosha, you go there, you're going to find lots of Italians. Ken, do you agree with me? Ken is from Wisconsin, but Ken is from Appleton, so you're far, far away from Racine and Kenosha. But I think you would agree with me, right? Wonderful people. If you go to Racine, if you go to Kenosha, even a little bit in Walworth County, so that southeast corner of Wisconsin, you're going to find some wonderful Italian Americans. And Italian food, you cannot go wrong with that. Okay? I mean, Italian food, you just can never go wrong. Okay? If let's say you're traveling, you're going someplace and you're super hungry and you're so hungry you can't decide what to eat. You're trying to make up your mind. You want something European, okay? You want some European dish, but you don't know what you want to have. Just go to an Italian restaurant. You cannot go wrong, right? Now, if you want Asian dishes, you talk to me, all right? If you want Asian dishes, you talk to me. But if you're looking for a restaurant on your way to some place, you can't decide you want some kind of European food. Now you don't know if you want German food or if you want Spanish food or if you want maybe Irish dishes or whatever. Let me tell you, you cannot go wrong with Italian food. Okay? Just go and order whatever. Anyone who's of Italian origin, your ancestors came from Italy, anyone here? I'm silently reading the comments. Steven's asking, what's your favorite Asian dish? Oh, that's a hard one. I'll say I love biryani. You cannot go wrong with biryani. You cannot go wrong. Okay, chicken biryani is great, but I also like beef biryani, which is a lot more tasty, to be honest with you, because the beef adds some special juices, right? You get the beef, certain cuts are better than others, and beef just adds so much of flavor. There's flavor in beef, and when it mixes with the rice, it is so amazing. Okay, yeah, biryani is awesome. I make at home. I do it. You'll find videos on my channel. Trinity is asking how I'm doing. I'm doing okay. I got a little bit of cold, some allergies, so I'm struggling a little bit here, as you can tell probably from my face. Hold on a second, my friends. I'll find the cable here. Oh, Evelyn saying Evelyn likes butter chicken. Yeah, that's good. Butter chicken's good. You know a dish that is really tasty, um, that I make, and I'll tell you what it is. And you may have seen my videos. It's shrimp cooked in coconut cream. Shrimp cooked in coconut cream. It's really good. Like thick coconut cream, big shrimp. You gotta take the big ones. Uh, Gordon saying coconut cream is amazing. Yeah, it is. My friends, those who are new here, please subscribe, okay? I would appreciate that. Yep, Evelyn, shrimp curry with potatoes, really awesome. So when you make shrimp curry with potatoes, what's important to keep in mind is how you're going to cut the potatoes, depending on the size of the shrimp. Okay, so some shrimp are just small. You add a larger number of those. If the shrimp is big, maybe you don't use as many shrimp, and it has to be the perfect balance between the potatoes and the shrimp. And so you cannot cut the potatoes too small, not too big. It's geometry. It's an art. It's a nice balance. But yeah, I absolutely love it. And maybe you're when you're preparing that dish with potatoes and shrimp, to make that thick gravy, you're gonna have to add a lot of onions. And depending on what dish you're cooking, the onions would have to be cut a certain way. Okay, I mean, these are all little things that people learn with experience. Uh, Depending on what dish you're cooking, the onions will have to be sliced or chopped, or even sliced, but with different lengths. I mean, I just love it. Okay, it's an art. I love it. I love talking about food, although I don't discuss food a whole lot during my live streams, but I love it. Okay, it's an art, and it's a hobby of mine too. Uh, Stephen loves the live chat. Thank you, Stephen. Salerno. Thanks, Salerno. All right. Stephen says, "We are a family." Yes, we are. This is a family of freedom-loving people. Um, Gordon is asking what state you live in. Okay. I live in Wisconsin, Gordon. Wisconsin. I live in Wisconsin. Where are you, Gordon? Yeah, the trolls can also keep commenting because they're helping the algorithm, undoubtedly. Spending time here in the live chat. All right. Okay, my friends, 96 likes. Can we get to 100? All right. Okay, my friends, I think what I'm going to do is wrap up this live stream here very soon. Um, or should we continue? If you ask me meaningful questions, I can continue. Okay, people are saying continue. All right, let's continue. Someone's asking, what's your name? My name is Tassif. All right, my friends, I think I'm gonna need a little bit of rest because of the cold. So I'm gonna end this here. Okay, I appreciate you all being here. I wish I could go longer, but I really need to get some rest because of all the cold and the runny nose. So thank you, my friends. May God bless you all. May God bless President Donald J. Trump. May God bless the Trump administration. May God bless our Republican leaders in Washington. May God bless our great country, the United States of America. May God bless our U.S. allies, and may God bless freedom-loving people all over the world. My friends, thank you so very much for joining today. We will continue the conversation. There's going to be a lot to discuss. So thank you all. Have a wonderful night. And remember, my friends, together we will make America great again. Thank you. Thanks so very much. And I'll see you again very soon. Have a good night.